Decepticon airs Transformers Animated Season 3, Episode 10, 39th overall, and originally aired May 2nd, 2009. In it, the Decepticons escape from the Elite Guard, and it's up to Optimus to bail them out. Shenanigans ensue. The episode's title, and roughly the plot, is an homage to the movie Con Air. In it, Nic Cage plays a man who's about to be released from prison to see his daughter for the first time and give her a plush bunny for her birthday, but during a prisoner transport, which is via airplane, the prisoners take over the plane and it's up to Nic Cage to save the day. It's a dumb but fun 90s action movie that's notable for having Nicolas Cage with fabulous long hair, Steve Buscemi, who will go on to play Starscream in Transformers 1, and of course I have to mention, Con Air is referenced quite often in the online comic series Homestuck. Like, a lot. They recreate the ending, and even the screen-used bunny plush is a very important item to the plot of Homestuck. Anyways, back to Transformers, and the Teal Space Bridge construction is going well, especially because we haven't talked about it since Three's a Crowd. Sorry wants to help, but let the professionals do it. It's not like you can key it anymore. Optimus remembers the start of the season, with Megatron teleporting randomly. It's pretty funny seeing Bulky and Isaac argue about they could have finished the bridge if they did one thing different or one thing before, because it's literally like if Patrick and SpongeBob were arguing with PhDs. As Bulkhead reminds the audience that Isaac rebuilt Megatron in Season 1, Sorry goes all spark, her hands go crazy, and they fix the space bridge. Just some ingenuity. Meanwhile, in space, Sentinel interrogates the Decepticons that Lockdown captured in 5 servos of doom. The gags on the Decepticons are literally operated by a car key. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but shouldn't, the gag fall off of Lugnut? I mean, it's only barely touching his cheek. This gets interrupted by a call from the Autobot Council, which is made up of Perceptor, Alpha Trion, Cliffjumper, and we can assume Sentinel and Magnus, and probably Longarm would have been also on the council, telling Sentinel they're finally going to release the news about Magnus, and it's kind of sus that you want to take charge already. I don't know why, but I think Cliffjumper being pushed into this little porthole here is funny instead of just splitting the main screen 3 ways. So I guess if the whole council was together and they were calling someone else, then Sentinel will be in this porthole, and then maybe Perceptor and Longarm would be in these ones on the bottom, and then Alpha Trion and Magnus would share the main screen. Also, Alpha Trion is Phil.
And your taking control is especially premature since Ultra Magnus is still online.
Sentinel still claims he caught the cons, but Cliffjumper remembers that the cover story was actually Prowl caught them in 5 servos.
Those bureaucrat Autobots couldn't find their own diodes with a bitmap and a homing beacon.
I'm pretty sure that's a dick joke. So he's saying those bureaucrats couldn't find their own dicks if they had a map. Sentinel demands a full throttle to Cybertron, but there's a storm in the way. So he calls the Storm Twins to come and help, conveniently forgetting to lock the others back in their cells, as the cosmic pink lightning strikes the ship and finally unlocks Swindle from the time loop he was stuck in. So yeah, obviously Fanzone didn't actually melt him down, except for maybe his cannon, unless Lockdown took it. Swindle helps the other cons because they're tight with Megatron. It is a little odd that Swindle doesn't immediately recognize Lugnut and Blitzwing despite Megatron being his best buyer. I don't know, maybe Megatron bought all of his weapons from Swindle online. So Swindle gets his skeleton key and unlocks everyone. I like that Swindle is noticeably smaller than everyone else because Swindle's toy was a deluxe and everyone else's was a Voyager. And luckily Swindle has everyone's gear and their colors even. And as the Elite Guard make it through the Inner system, Fire and Storm get hit by the blast effect and a less effective explosion, and then get captured by a Thane Swindle sells a commercial to, which he got on a trip to Quintessa, home of the Quintessons, being our first Quintesson reference in all of Transformers Animated. So Scrap, Mix, Bulkhead, and Megatron, Swindle is our 5th confirmed oil enjoyer. Sentinel sends a message to Optimus in Morse code saying Broken Lance. So you know it's a dire situation even before you find out to reference the code Broken Arrow. Also, Sorry in the scene kind of looks like her kid design with the bigger ponytails. Before Lugnut can use his bombs on the elites, they think they could, sell them for parts, make a lot. Enough to retire to Nebulos, which was a planet in the G1 comics, the home of the Headmaster pilots, who unlike G1 Season 4 aren't green skinned, they're just boringly human looking. Plus, they might know where Megs is, even though Sentinel's interrogating them for where Meg is. back on Earth, and luckily there's a transwarp signature on the ship. But they don't know if they can exactly get to that point, so he does it anyway. So Optimus heads out. Twins, you could combine in the safeguard. You are together. You don't even want to try?
Never could get the hang of cloning.
Implying that Swindle has dealt with cloning before, despite the Allspark being missing for so long. How did they make clones?
Just so I can tell you bots apart.
So Swindle gives them helmets that resemble their G1 heads. Now I get Ramjet to give him the iconic cone head, and I like that the tip of the cone is a drill. But I don't really get why Sunstorm gets a wider G1 inspired head, because Ramjet already has a unique helmet. I guess that might also add to the theory that the secret clones are all actually the same color as Starscream, and they're color different for the audience. But then what's up with Slipstream in-universe? Does she still look like a Starscream? Does she still sound like Tara Strong? Is she the only exception? Optimus is able to teleport into Swindle's belly, because Swindle has a private storage dimension in his transwarp belly he somehow got, which kind of reminds me of Fat Chance from Venture Bros. Optimus kicks some ass, but he realizes there's more of them than him, so he drives away, even including his trailer, running over Swindle, who's left behind as the Flyers go after Optimus, who definitely his trailer clips through the corner here. Optimus takes the elevator to the Energon storage room, which is nice and G1 pink. Optimus then slashes up some cubes, and I like the detail that the cuts are uneven, setting the cubes down to blow up in the faces of the cons, but the explosion's a lot bigger than Optimus expected, which is directly lifted from the movie Die Hard, as well as the scene of Optimus going through the vents and complaining to himself about the situation.
Sure, transform me onto the ship. Rescue my old buddy from a bunch of Decepticons. It'll be fun.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
Also, the legend himself, King Carlisle, found some deleted scenes from this episode.
Oh, I am simply in awe of that Autobot's devious cleverness. And might I add, what fine battle damage you received from that explosion. Explosion? What explosion? I didn't feel any explosion.
Swindle gets bored of guarding and goes to loot, but at the same time, Optimus is able to unscrew a vent backwards. But as he rescues them, the Decepticons find them, but luckily Optimus is saying one thing, but subtly communicating another thing in Morse code to turn the decontamination station into an ice station. I wonder if it's actual Morse code. I'm not like a military brat, so I don't know. Then Lugnut Anime poses and hits them with a blast effect, sending everyone but Swindle and Jazz into space.
Decepticons, transform and rise up!
Luckily the storms can fly, as we get a pretty exciting action scene of the other two having to strategically float around, with Sentinel being angry that Optimus is taking charge.
Are you thinking what I am thinking?
Always!
Wing walking!
Swindle's looting the Elite Guard stash of giant D-pads. Optimus fastball special Sentinel in the Lugnut, blasting him away. But then Sentinel gets frozen, so the bots have to surrender and offer themselves to get frozen. But luckily Jazz turned the hoses backwards, so the cons get frozen instead, which I think might be a reference to Superman 2. As a plump-looking Swindle takes an escape pod out of there. In all the potential ideas for Season 4, Swindle was never among any of them, so maybe he will return in Season 5 of Lockdown and Soundwave. Sentinel offers Optimus Elite Guard status because he's going to need a position filled when he's Magnus, but Optimus still has duties on Earth. There's a pretty funny photo of Isaac zoned out. I guess the Elite Guard were on cruise control on their way back to Cybertron because they make it back to Earth lickety-split. Isaac Sar and Bulkhead will have noticed if the space bridge activated. Maybe they used it on the way back because the Elite Guard also make it to Cybertron ridiculously quick. So Sentinel can have a triumph parade saying that they're going to do to Shockwave what he did to Magnus. You just have to trust me. With Blitzwing, Skywarp, and Ramjet being locked up, this is their last appearances. Perceptor and Alpha Trion are with Sentinel, and in the crowd we see Beachcomber and Hot Rod, who are still alive, Brawn, and Ironhide. On the other side, Huffer, Ironhide, Beachcomber, and Brawn again. Trax, someone who will be important next episode, Hotshot, who got his leg fixed, and weirdly, Warpath in Sky Gary colors. As real Warpath is over here, I guess he didn't die in the war. And here we more prominently see Firestar, Rosanna, Not Sorry, Huffer, Cosmo, Beachcomber, Trax, Wheeljack with a miscolored mouth, someone who will be more important next episode, and Action Master Mainframe, who's got a mouth and a blue visor rather than an orange visor and no mouth, who's oddly popular because he gotta be Teletran 1. And an Autotrooper, the Autobots foot soldier, which you would think would be more prominent, making their franchise debut.
Actually, stupid, their franchise debut was in my favorite series, Kiss Play.
Their franchise debut. Also, Lugnut finally did find Megatron still teleporting.
So, now we're picking up hitchhikers?
In the credits, Bumper is credited for both Blitzwing and Bumblebee, despite B not being in the episode. That might be a little weird, but this episode rocks. Swindle's a delight to see again, and him clashing with the other cons. And all of them are really cool to see again since 5 Servos of Doom. Seeing Optimus taking the cons down strategically is really cool, along with Swindle's gadgets. And much like Wreck-Gar in last episode, it's just really cool seeing him again when you would have expected him just to be a one-and-done episode character. Blitzwing and them were meant to return next season, but this is a fine send-off for them. Sorry learning more about her new form is cool, and it's a necessary part of the finale. Plus the action's really good, it's always a treat to see the two primes interact. 10 out of 10. But let me know your guys' opinions down below, as the like button and subscribe button really need hit, as well as hype on mobile.